It starts off, of course, with a project proposal that you write up, and then comes implementing the project, and that's a completely different story.
The program that they did was just a summer program, and we fed them lunch. Probably that may have been their only meal that they had for that day. Kids would come, we'd play games, we would do different exercises with them in the whole 9 yards. And that was also, I think, funded by the Lutheran Brotherhood that did that. And it was a remarkable event. It was an eye-opener to a young person that education is important, going on to college, and when you finally get to the level of where you can buy different things and you don't have to be on welfare the rest of your life.
My program was called Cultivating a Caring Community, and for short it's a 3C project. What I proposed to do was use a variety of art forms to create a learning and community experience for Hmong homeless refugee kids living at Mary's Place or anywhere in the Twin Cities. I learned that the kids were so alive and so hopeful about a lot of things. They weren't the kids that I thought would be sad and very poor, considering living at a homeless shelter.
My project was called Empower 2000. My hope, sort of the macro goals of all this, was through this sort of exploration of self and community and need, that these young people could have a better sense of what they wanted to do. I didn't realize just how much of an impact this program would have on these kids' lives. I stayed in contact with a couple of them, and I still actually keep in contact with one of them. And I've heard that not only was it a positive experience, but it really, I think, accomplished its goal in A, getting these kids interested in college, and two, helping them sort of explore what they want to do with their lives.
What I ended up doing was working with the nursing home, assisted living, and independent living in Columbia Heights, and providing exercise activities and educational activities that help to prevent dementia.
I work for the TRAIL programs that works with students that are first generation, low income, you're getting them ready for college. My focus is with 6th graders in the middle school. We get them ready for anybody's college. That is what is important. So if they want to look at a college that is outside of Minnesota, inside of Minnesota, we work on it with them. We get them ready when it comes to scholarships and grants. We help them fill out those applications. We also help them when it comes to getting their application waived or putting it on the back burner until their financial aid package comes through.
At first, I didn't really know how to communicate with Hmong people. I didn't really know much about the Hmong culture. I just learned a lot about them, about the Hmong identity, just interacting with them and seeing how they took in the American culture and integrated it with the Hmong culture. I kind of learned Hmong from them too, which I found really helpful. And by the end of the program, they were like, "Your Hmong got really good new." So I was like, yes! And so it was really good.
Now I work with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Well, I am the match coordinator for the primarily Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center area. So I meet with volunteers, I interview them, I meet with the families and the children, and I interview them. And then based on personalities and interest, make matches. We connect kids with mentors, and the mentors mainly are seen as friends. The Phillips Foundation really has inspired me to continue that kind of service and now in more of a leadership role. I'm kind of helping to live out that philosophy now through my work, not only with Big Brothers Big Sisters, but with Results. It's another organization I volunteer for.
Well, I practice environmental litigation at Fager and Benson in Minneapolis. The thing I love about my job most is the opportunities that I have to get involved in my community. In fact, the reason I ended up at Fager and Benson is because of its commitment to the community. It values lawyers who not only are top in their field, but also lawyers that realize that they do live in community. And I think you can do a lot more good in our community if you give everyone the tools to be passionate and care about the things that they care about. Programs like the Phillips Scholars program does something more than just provide scholarships to 6 students every year. It continues this sort of momentum of community service and service learning that I think goes well beyond just those 6 students.
One of the main things that the Phillips Family Foundation provided me was with this networking of the Hmong communities, the Hmong organizations around the Twin Cities, and that's really helpful for me in the near future when I do become a physician, because I do want to work in the Hmong community, and so this is a great gateway for me to connect with a lot of the Hmong communities.
And it also taught me the importance of volunteering services. I've always continued on my level of volunteering. I volunteer in 2 different organizations here in Bloomington.
If you make it personal, you put your whole effort into making it work.
I had a lot of volunteer experience previous to that, not a lot which involved me taking on leadership. Leadership and organization and implementation of something that you've designed.
We want to sow positive seed in all children's life, in all walks of life, in all races of life, because we want to be able to say, you have a shining star in you.
The outcomes of that will be just amazing.
You are our future generation, and your education is something that is most definitely an important